Hunter x Hunter is over forever. Hello and welcome back to Suck War Central. My name is CJ, and on this fine 1st of April, I bring most tragic news. I'm afraid Yoshihiro Togashi is no longer with us. No, he didn't die. You see, the rapture actually just happened, and Togashi was the only person God took to heaven. This means everyone else in the entire world is going to hell with Neon Nostrad. It also means Hunter x Hunter is never going to make its return. Therefore, I have decided to instead make this channel about a different series, which is definitely going to get a continuation, for sure, 100% confirmed. That's right, I'm talking about Danganronpa. Today, I'll be ranking every character from the 3 mainline Danganronpa games on an incredibly important tier list, which I present before you. For those who don't understand the premise, 2 beers and a puppy is a psychological test I think I found on Reddit or Tumblr or something that helps you determine how to feel about someone. If you would go out for 2 beers with someone, it means you enjoy their company. If you'd let them take care of a puppy, it means you trust them and think they're responsible. If the answer to both is no, then you probably shouldn't associate much with this person. If the answer to both is yes, then you really trust and value that person. Also, I want to point out that this method of ranking is completely objective, and if you disagree with me, you are wrong. But it doesn't matter anyway, since we're all going to burn in the pits of hell at the end of the day. So without further ado, let's get started! Hajime is a pretty special guy. Aside from the distinction of being the second most attractive character in the series, he feels a sense of responsibility and tries to take care of his obligations, so I'd trust him with a puppy even if he's bad at almost everything. As for beers, well, Hajime's demonstrated that he's fun to hang out with and really tries to meet people where they're at, so he goes in this tier. Leon? I do not fucking trust even under the best of circumstances. He slacks off constantly and doesn't really try. I mean, he even half-assed his murder cover-up, so no way could he watch my dog. Also, I don't trust this womanizer around my drinks, so I'm gonna pass on beers with Leon as well, thank you very much. Tenko is a complete disaster. I would trust her to watch a puppy in principle, but I have no doubt she'd accidentally feed it chocolate or something. As for drinks, well, she's most likely to assume I'm a girl, so I'd be safe from the more abrasive aspects of her personality. However, she's liable to start a bar fight or be a pervert at any moment, so I think I'll relegate her to the same tier as Leon. Gonta is a smart, wonderful, responsible man who was raised feral anyway, so of course he'd be good with a dog. And how could you not want to get beers with Gonta? Top tier, easy. Maki is, at the very least, a competent and functional human being, which is more than you can say for most Danganronpa characters. So yeah, she can watch my puppy. However, given that she has all the charisma of a wet sock, even once you get to know her heart of gold and all that, I have no interest in being her drinking buddy. Makoto falls into the same category. He could absolutely watch a puppy, but I would not hang out with him. Despite being the protagonist again, I think he's much worse at interacting with people than Hajime, and he and I would just rub each other the wrong way. No hate to the guy, but we just couldn't really be friends. Nakamaru is definitely top tier. He could easily watch a puppy, and what's more, I think he could fix me. Toko is a smelly little trash goblin who can't even bathe herself, so no way in hell am I letting her watch a puppy. However, I would totally go out for drinks with her and Genocide Jack. Genocide Jack is a delightfully vibrant individual and seems fun to hang out with, even if she's a little edgy sometimes, and Toko's a straight-up literary genius. I love literature, so of course I would hang out with her. Hiyoko is mostly known by fans of the series for being very rude, but she's actually a tragically misunderstood character who's only like this because of the environment she was raised in. Fortunately, that's what I call not my fucking problem, and until she goes to therapy, we are not hanging out. As for watching a puppy, girl can't even get dressed without help, so no way is she watching my dog. Chihiro passes the vibe check easily, straight to top tier. Chiaki is a tricky one. On the one hand, she's canonically super fun to hang out with, but on the other, I just don't see the vision. And there's no way I trust her to watch a dog when her eyes are glued to the screen at all times. Kaede is very weird, very pervy, and very stupid. I don't trust her not to do something colossally idiotic with my puppy, just like I don't trust her anywhere near me if she's got alcohol in her system. Kaito is like the opposite of Kaede. No, wait, he's even dumber, so aside from that. But he's a good, responsible guy, and I trust him with a puppy or to keep an eye on my drink at the bar anytime. Angie is pleasant enough as long as you don't cross her. I could see myself hanging out with her, grabbing a couple cold ones, you know? But no way am I leaving her alone with my dog or in my house. That's another dimension to this whole question, actually. If the character in question is watching your puppy, are they also living in your house? In any case, Angie is not allowed to step foot in my house no matter what. You can never let those damn missionaries in or they'll yap about God for hours. Hina is a normal person, and she's nice. Not much else to say here, she passes the vibe check. You. I do not like you. I do not want to hang out with you. And I do not want you to watch my dog, because if you did, you'd probably find a bunch of faults in how I've been caring for my puppy, and yell at me about them because you're just that kind of person. Go to hell. I mean, we're all going to hell, but you especially. Oh no, absolutely not. You can also go to hell, as all rich people should. Okay, Kurumi passes the vibe check, but maybe for the wrong reasons. Obviously, she could take care of a dog, but I want to have beers with her for a much more sinister purpose. You see, she works for all sorts of famous and important people. I mean, she literally runs a country. I bet if I got a couple beers in her, I could learn all sorts of crazy state secrets and such. I want what you know, Kurumi. Tell me your secrets. You go straight to the top tier, no comment. Mondo. Well, on the one hand, I trust him to watch my dog because he is a dog person and he has one. But would I go out drinking with the guy prone to fits of sudden rage and violence? Look, I know he's a good-natured dude at heart, but I just wouldn't feel safe around him. Absolutely not. Straight to bottom tier. Kazuichi is not allowed in my house. I'm not entirely sure what he'd do in there, but I want none of it. If he can't get in my house, he can't watch my puppy, of course. But would I go out drinking with him? Hell yeah! He's actually a pretty good and charming guy, and it's not that far below his greasy surface. Heko is loyal and devoted above all else. If there's one thing you can trust this ambiguous bisexual to do, it's guard something cute and fluffy. Now, would I go out for drinks with her? Sure. She seems like she could be a good friend if you gave her the chance to be. It's mostly vibes, to be honest, but like, she's happy if you give her a set of D&D dice. I know there's a cool person to be friends with under that really repressed shell. I probably wouldn't want to go play D&D with her, though. I'm pretty sure she picks Paladin every time. I could fix him. Sayaka's competent and not insane. I'd let her watch my puppy. But I wouldn't want to go drinking with her. It's not like she thinks she can really be herself or let her guard down around anyone outside of her idol group anyway, so we could never be friends. Akane is not competent and not insane, so I would never let her watch my puppy. But she's got a fun, charming, and outgoing personality, so I'd get drinks with her, sure. Hiro needs money way too badly for me to trust him with anything. If we went out drinking, he'd probably end up trying to sell my organs. Straight to bottom tier. Ha, no. Tsumugi runs a whole TV show. Not well, but she technically does run it, so I think she could handle one puppy. She's also a weird, socially inept nerd, and if you're cool, you'll know that weird, socially inept nerds are the absolute best people to hang out with. Is Fuyuhiko a brutal criminal who cuts people's fingers off? Yup. Is he a bad guy? Well, I don't know, maybe. But at least he's got a sense of honor, so I'd let him watch my puppy, even if I wouldn't be caught dead in public with a Yakuza member. Look at this nerd. Obviously Taka can watch my puppy, but he'd probably yell at me for showing too much skin if we went out for beers. Plus, I bet even if he did drink, he'd stop after 1 and make sure he was home by 9 p.m. so he could get up at the crack of dawn to do who knows what. No thanks. Immediate vibe check failure. Proceed straight to bottom tier. Listen, no disrespect to Shuichi, but the man is chronically depressed. If he forgets to eat sometimes, I doubt he'd remember to feed my puppy every time, but I'd go drinking with him any day. Alcohol is like a dead wife. No depressed detective is complete without it. I want to hear his detective stories, and hey, if he's going out for drinks with me, it means he's leaving the house, which is a step in the right direction. Sakura is perfect in every single way and goes straight to the top tier. Rantaro is a chronic sister loser. If I leave him with my puppy, that puppy's ending up in Latvia or some shit, guaranteed. But at the very least, He's a nice and trustworthy guy, and I'd go out for drinks with him. Despite how she presents herself, Kyoko is actually kind of reckless and unhinged when you look at some of her actions, and I'm not sure I'd trust her with my puppy. Plus, she's not interested in having friends either, so that's a no for beers. Sonia may be a hater and a gatekeeper, but she's also God's favorite princess and the most interesting girl in the world. Straight to the top. Kibo would absolutely fuck up caring for a puppy. Not to be robophobic, but I just don't think he fully comprehends the needs of organic beings. And I don't think he can drink beer, but he's still a socially awkward nerd, which means I like him. So I'd hang out with him while he drinks motor oil or whatever. You. No. Hate you, you're also bottom tier. Ibuki cannot be trusted in my house. I'm sure the puppy would be fine, but everything else would probably be burned to the ground when I got back. And she's insane and enough of a pervert that I wouldn't feel safe drinking with her either. Himiko. Nyeh. Gundam can pretty much speak to animals. Any puppy would be fine in his care. Also, he's insane, but in a funny, charming sort of way, and not an I fear for my safety kind of way. Plus, he's a good guy at heart. I'd totally get a couple beers with him. Get 2 beers in me and I'll be Mukuro's puppy. I mean, she's a mass-murdering, sociopathic, war criminal. Obviously she goes in the bottom tier. I would never trust her with a puppy. I would never go out with her. Of course. Junko. Clearly, I would never trust to watch a puppy, but I'd want to go drinking with her for a very specific reason. You see, Junko's brain is already completely off the rails, and just out of, morbid curiosity, I want to see what alcohol would do to it. My outlook on going out drinking with Junko can be best summarized by this clip of John Mulaney.
It's like there's a horse loose in a hospital. I think eventually everything's gonna be okay, but I have no idea what's gonna happen next. And neither do any of you, and neither do your parents, because there's a horse loose in the hospital. It's never happened before. No one knows what the horse is gonna do next, least of all the horse. He's never been in a hospital before. He's as confused as you are.
Now, she'd definitely somehow kill me horribly in the process, but I'm sure it would be very entertaining. Now, I know I've given people crap for being perverts, but Hifumi isn't like the others. He's a gentleman pervert. Plus, being in a fandom like him, I think we'd get along super well, so I'd absolutely go drinking with him. Also, he seems functional and responsible enough, if eccentric, so sure, he can watch my puppy too. Ultimate Imposter, I have already covered. You see, one of the other characters wasn't actually themselves in this video. It was Imposter, and if you didn't notice, that's because you were fooled. And with that, we reach the climax. To anyone who made it this far into the video, I just want to say, why on earth did you watch this? Anyway, in case you couldn't tell, it's an April Fool's joke, and we'll be right back to Hunter x Hunter content next time. I hope you have a